Ever since the release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker's teaser trailer number 1 that made its debut over at Star Wars Celebration, followed by the second teaser that made its debut over at D23 and by Good Morning America, it left a lot of fans around the world very excited and eager for the third and final trailer of Episode 9 by Disney and Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really intriguing about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film, at the end of the day, is going to hold many different connections to the prequels and the originals, as well as using Star Wars Legends as inspirational source material to tell a very unique and original story by J.J., Chris Terrio, and George Lucas. Now, apart from all of this, a lot of fans have been very curious about the final trailer of Episode 9, which, by the way, will be debuting on October 21st during Monday Night Football, specifically during halftime, which is projected to start at 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, moving past all of this, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to various shot descriptions of the upcoming Trailer 3 of this movie, this is where things begin to get very intense for Episode 9. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that Palpatine is said to be sitting on a medical table of some kind where he appears to be weakened with disheveled hair, and looks as if he is on the verge of death. It's explained that one of the sequences involves a moment in which Kylo is said to enter the room while igniting his crossguard saber and pointing it at Sidious, where one of the alternate shots is said to involve Sidious force-grabbing Kylo's saber hilt in mid-air where it's floating in front of him, where as he begins to laugh, the laughter of Palpatine by Ian is said to have a different and creepy sound to it, since Palpatine is now over 100 years old during the events of The Rise of Skywalker. It's explained that Palpatine's skin appears to be a bit saggy and loose in areas on his face that makes his appearance far different in comparison to how he appeared in Return of the Jedi and Revenge of the Sith. Behind Palpatine stands 3 shadow guards that are essentially black Imperial guards, holding unique staffs. The next describes a sequence that focuses on Palpatine's hand, initiating some kind of energy through the palm of his hand that is implied to be the beginning of Force lightning in a different way, where Palpatine is able to hold the attack. That's followed by a shot involving Kylo Ren and his Knights of Ren, attacking a village and burning it down to the ground, where dialogue of Sidious is said to state, "Now it has begun." The last explains a sequence in which both Rey and Kylo Ren are actually said to clash their sabers together, with Palpatine sitting on his throne in the background, followed by a glimpse of Ren and Rey now on the ground, where Palpatine is sitting on his throne, where he is now said to have a more youthful design, like how he was in Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. So, let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, obviously, Disney and Lucasfilm, they are really doubling down on Palpatine as a big part of the marketing of this movie to really rake in the fans, right? To really bring them in and to really gain their trust to go ahead and see this movie, to let them feel like it's going to be worth their while. And to be honest, it really has to be, because ever since The Last Jedi Backlash, a lot of fans want to see something very true to the Star Wars franchise, right? So when we look at the character of Palpatine, he really is the driving force for the hype of this movie without a doubt, just like how Luke was in The Last Jedi. Hopefully, though, Palpatine will be a very good component for the plot of Episode 9. The one piece I really want to go over here that I think stands out to me the most is, of course, where Palpatine is described to be on a medical table, as if he is on the verge of death, where as Kylo Ren comes in, he ignites his crossguard, aims it at Palpatine. However, the thing here is that Palpatine is said to be able to force grab it out of Kylo's hands, where he's actually levitating Kylo Ren's crossguard lightsaber hilt, unignited, pretty much deactivated, and just floating in front of Palpatine while he's actually resting on his medical table, followed by a new type of laughter by Palpatine that has been done by Ian McDiarmid. Now, in case you guys did not know, this version of Palpatine in The Rise of Skywalker is going to be over 100 years old, giving us a different design of Palpatine. It really is going to be truly exciting, I will add. The fact that he's going to be on the verge of death in the first act of Episode 9, I think a lot of fans may either dislike that or like that, depending on how you're going to approach the story. But the thing about that is that, of course, Palpatine, portrayed by Ian McDiarmid, J.J. Abrams also expressed a couple of weeks ago that Ian did a fantastic job at doing the role once again, and he did it in a different way, while also doing something very unique to how it was done in Revenge of the Sith. Now, moving past this, the other piece that I do want to go over that actually brings us back to one of the leaks about the Force Conduit technique, where it's explained that both Rey and Ren are on the ground, where in the background, Palpatine is said to be sitting on his throne, where he holds a more youthful design. Now, there's a thing called Force Conduit in this movie that is actually said to be a power that Palpatine is going to use from both Rey and Kylo, basically using their energy to make him more youthful, like how he was in Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Does that necessarily mean he's going to appear as he did before he was deformed, or does that necessarily just mean that he's going to be how he was while he was getting electrocuted by Mace Windu when it was reflecting back at him? Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No, I'm not the one from night.